If you're putting together a Dolby Atmos home theater and not quite sure what's the best Atmos configuration, this is the video for you. From soundbars to speaker placement on the walls and in ceiling, I'm going to share my experience with different setups and tell you which one I think is best so you can build the best Dolby Atmos home theater possible. And here's everything I've learned to help you build the best Dolby Atmos home theater. If you end up finding this video helpful and want more home theater content, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And if you want to show the ultimate support, consider using my links. Everything in this video will be in the description. Any commission earned helps finance this channel so I can produce more content like this. I'm going to cover a few different scenarios here: upfiring Atmos like those you might find in a soundbar, or when a speaker is placed on top of your tower speakers facing upward; top middle, where two Atmos speakers are either sidewall mounted or ceiling mounted slightly in front of your listening position; and top front with top rear, and the differences I experienced, and in the end show you what I ultimately found is the best configuration. Let's start off with upfiring speakers, and I won't sugarcoat it, this is the absolute worst way to experience Dolby Atmos content. Now, if you got a soundbar with upfiring speakers to save space and prefer a more minimalistic setup, I understand. There's always going to be some give and take, and if you don't want to have to deal with a receiver and having multiple speakers everywhere, much less running speaker wire, it is a solid alternative. That said, for the sake of having great sounding Atmos effects, upfiring speakers are heavily reliant on your room, and anything over a 9-foot ceiling is going to drastically increase its effectiveness. Because the sound is directed at your ceiling and bounced back down at you, the further away it has to travel, the more that signal gets lost in translation. And if you've got a more expensive house with wide open ceilings that go up to 2 stories tall, you might as well forget it. For years I had a Polk Signature Series system and just used 2 bookshelf speakers angled up on top of my towers as upfiring speakers because I figured it was better than nothing. And while that may be true, ultimately, once you experience properly placed downward firing speakers, even on flagship soundbars, upfiring speakers just can't compete. You'll never want to go back. My perspective changed when I started collaborating with SVS, who helped me put together the most premium home theater setup I've ever owned. They are not sponsoring this video, but if you're like me and coming from soundbars or entry-level speaker systems, I can't recommend the SVS Ultra Evolution line enough. It's completely changed my home theater game. So after our initial collaboration, I tried a pair of Ultra Elevations, and that's when I started to discover just how good Atmos channels can really sound. I started off by using them as side wall mounted top middle channels since my previous place wouldn't allow anything ceiling mounted, and wow, again, I was only used to upfiring speakers. I don't care how many speakers you've got angled up, nothing compares to having actual speakers mounted high firing sound directly at you. Ford vs. Ferrari and Oblivion were some of the first movies I watched, and going from upfiring, where it's more of a scattered effect reflecting down, to be able to hear specific sounds like the ship flying overhead from left to right when Tom Cruise lands his ship near the beginning of the movie, it's probably the biggest game-changing difference I'd experienced since going from stereo speakers to 5.1. As far as which configuration is best, we can rule out upfiring Atmos. So we moved into our current place, and while the old apartment had sidewalls for side-mounted Atmos, the new space doesn't, so I bit the bullet and mounted my top middle channels on the ceiling, slightly in front of the sofa, angled towards the middle listening position. And I will say, comparing side wall to ceiling placement for top middle, I did notice an improvement having them overhead. Civil War is a great example. During the final battle scene when they're breaking through the gate to the White House, you hear jets fly overhead from left to right. That and the Oblivion scene I mentioned earlier are probably my 2 favorite demo scenes when it comes to top middle. So I kept expanding my collection of Dolby Atmos movies, looking for the best experiences, and I started to notice that not every movie that should have been as good as what they say was translating to the expected experience. It seems like when top middle was used, it really made things immersive, but it just didn't seem to hit that often, and I found myself underwhelmed with movies like Top Gun Maverick that should have had top tier Atmos. And that's what led me to making this video, as I started to wonder how top middle would fare against top front and top rear. So I reached out to SVS and got 2 more sets of elevations. For optimal placement, I think ceiling mounting these speakers angled towards the middle listening position would yield the best results, but I didn't want to put more holes in the ceiling, so I went with what SVS recommends and mounted a pair on the front wall over the front towers, and on the rear wall as high up as possible, well as high up as I could reach. Ideally, you want the rear channels to be further back so the downward angle lines up better with your ears, but no space is perfect. I did move my sofa up about 1.5 feet off the wall to give as much separation as possible. I started off with Civil War to see if I would still notice those jets fly overhead from left to right, and it was so faint if I hadn't heard it with top middle before, I would have never known it was there in the first place. I then tried Oblivion, that same ship landing scene you hear loudly overhead, and thankfully it still surrounded the room and didn't feel like anything was missing. After more comparisons, what I learned is that there are specific Atmos effects you get with top middle that you lose when you switch to top front and top rear, but they're so seldomly used that when compared to what you gain, it's not even close. Going back to movies like Top Gun Maverick that were underwhelming before, and all of a sudden there's an entirely new atmosphere that, unlike top middle, where you hear it every now and then, seems constant throughout the entire movie, and instead of just hearing the occasional sound go from left to right, you now hear sounds go from behind you to in front, from the back left to the front right, and so on, making a complete bubble. It's one of those things you have to experience to really get the picture. I tried Godzilla -1, and when he roars, you really hear it go up and above all around you. It's impressive, and I'll take this new layer of atmosphere over the every now and then top middle experience. To recap, Upfiring soundbars or speakers are, in my opinion, the worst way to experience Atmos. Going to top middle side wall was a drastic improvement. Top middle overhead on the ceiling is even better, but in the end, top front and top rear is the icing on the cake, and in my opinion, is the absolute way to go. If you're lucky enough to have a dedicated theater room, you can have top front, top middle, and top rear and not miss out on anything, but for the rest of us, I'm recommending top front and top rear. Since I'm sticking with it, I took down my top middle ceiling mounted elevations and placed them as surround backs and moved my nanos from rears to side surrounds, and now enjoy a 7.1.4 Atmos setup, and having those side surrounds helps fill in the middle so I don't feel like anything is missing. I may not have a home with a dedicated home theater room, but the space I put together is one I can be happy with for a long time, and if you're looking to build a top tier Dolby Atmos home theater, going top front and top rear is the way to go. I highly recommend you check out the SVS Ultra Evolution. Being able to mount it on the wall or the ceiling makes them super versatile, especially for those of us with less than stellar floor plans. If you made it this far into the video, comment friends till the end, and feel free to drop any questions or comments to add to the conversation. More home theater content is on the way. We'll talk about what amplifier I just added to power my towers. Until next time, thank you for watching.